truly feel like if it wasn't for Ryan, aka the Titanium Ranger, we wouldn't have all of the American exclusive Rangers like from Jungle Fury to Cosmic Fury. But for the most part, I think Ryan in the season of Lightspeed Rescue completely changed the game of making first exclusive American Rangers in this original story arc. And that is the one thing I love about is originality and creativity. And Lightspeed Rescue was definitely the first American exclusive Ranger and the first interracial relationship between Joe and Miss Fairweather. Power Rangers lovers know this amazing franchise is based on one of Japan's most important tokusatsu shows, Super Sentai. Throughout 30 years, the Power Rangers creators, whether it is Saban, Hasbro, or Disney, have drawn inspirations from Super Sentai and have included footage from Super Sentai in all Power Rangers seasons. However, the two franchises aren't identical. Power Rangers may use Super Sentai's footage but doesn't copy its storyline. As the franchise grew up, it began to include an original material. This happened during Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue with Ryan Mitchell, aka the Titanium Ranger, who has no Super Sentai counterpart. Yet, he has an original suit, morpher, and even a morphing sequence. Like all 6 Rangers, Ryan didn't join the team immediately. Instead, he stars on an epic arc going from an unwilling villain to one of the most heroic Rangers ever, just like Tommy Oliver did before him. This emotional backstory combined with the Titanium Ranger's sheer power made his storyline a milestone in Power Rangers. Although he's an original creation, the Titanium Ranger soon became one of the most beloved warriors in the franchise. Thanks to the Titanium Ranger's success, the franchise took more and more risk over the years, becoming what it is today. Power Rangers fans know that the franchise has certain recurrent themes that have been going strong for decades. Stuff like the Red Ranger acting as the team leader, the Anima Moffats, particularly dinosaurs, and the epic morphing sequence are central to the show, and fans are eager to see them from the very first episode. One of the most important transitions in Power Rangers is the Sixth Ranger. This warrior never begins as part of the original core team. Instead, they're generally loners with an agenda of their own, a connection to the general lore of the season, and the suit that signals that they aren't just another Ranger. Fans love Six Rangers because they're usually very cool, but also this has a lot to do with the fact that they generally get more fleshed out backstory, and I agree with that. The first Sixth Ranger is a great example of this. Tommy Oliver debuted in Power Rangers as the villain of the evil Green Ranger. This 5-part storyline pits the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers against a new evil Green Ranger. At the same time, a new great martial artist catches Jace's attention at the youth center. It's the same person, Tommy Oliver, a new student whom Rita has brainwashed into becoming the villain. By the end of the arc, the Rangers manage to break the spell and Tommy joins them as the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger. This is just the beginning for him. Portrayed by the late Jason David Frank, rest in peace, Tommy will become the longest Ranger in the franchise and its most experienced warrior, to acting as the Mighty Morphin White Ranger, Zeo, Turbo, and Black Dino Thunder Ranger. Tommy's case is one of the most popular in the franchise, but it isn't the only one. Just before the Titanium Ranger, all 6 Rangers were key to their respective seasons. After Mighty Morphin Power Rangers ended, Power Ranger Zeo included the Gold Zeo Ranger, a mysterious helper against Wolfbane who turned out to be an intergalactic hero. Trey of Trefoya, the personification of courage, wisdom, and heart. Trey wasn't created by Zunon, but he was a definer, and his Zord, Paramidas, was just as powerful as the core team robot. Trey eventually gave his gold power staff to Jason Lee Scott, bringing the former Mighty Morphin Red Ranger back into the action. As the new Gold Ranger, Jason brought the mantle back to Earth permanently, but he still got to enjoy the perks of an outer space source of power and one of the strongest warriors in the franchise. Power Rangers in Space, Zane became the Silver Ranger after his glorious return to the survival of Silver. Excuse me, I don't know why I botched that by accident. Zane's charm resided in his backstory. He and Andros, the Red Space Ranger, were childhood friends, together with Karone, Andros' sister, and fought together as Rangers when they grew up. After Zane sacrificed himself for Andros, the latter put him in a state in hopes of saving him in the future. After his return, their friendship only grew stronger. Additionally, Zane shared a star-crossed lover arc with Astronema and a reality Karone. A romance between a hero and a villain was unheard of in the franchise before in Space. Finally, the Man the Defender introduced anti-heroes to the Power Rangers franchise. This solitary warrior was found by Mike Corbett in a pit where he fell years ago. When Mike fell too, the Defender possessed him to get revenge on his ancient enemies. The pursuit of what he thought was justice even made him go against the Rangers. Although the Man the Defender eventually joined the team and even bequested his legacy on Mike, he still stands out in the franchise for having given in to his thirst for blood. All these 6 Rangers paved the way for the Titanium Ranger. They acted as the blueprint for the fleshed out storyline. A morally ambitious, I don't know what that word says, an incredibly cool setup. Saban paid attention to what the fans liked regarding the 6th Ranger. And then the company took a great risk by introducing the Titanium Ranger, an original character. This risk definitely paid off. Like its predecessors, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue introduced the Titanium Ranger. Later during the season, Ryan Mitchell, portrayed by Rick Fisher, first appeared in From Deep in the Shadows, the 11th episode of the series. After the Titanium Morpher, a new invention in the Aquabase disappears. An evil Titanium Ranger becomes the core team's main concern. The episode reveals that the human behind the helmet is Ryan Mitchell, son of Captain Mitchell, the team's mentor, and brother to Dana, the Pink Ranger. Ryan supposedly died in a car crash many years ago, but this isn't true. As it turns out, at the time of the accident, Diabolical offered the captain the chance to save his son's life, but the villain also took him and fed him lies about his father's intentions for years. The introductory arc for Ryan Mitchell only lasts 2 episodes, From Deep Within the Shadows and Truth Discovered, but it's an emotional tale. Ryan isn't brainwashed like Tommy and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Instead, he was raised by a villain who poisoned him against his own family. His actions come from hurt, not from pure evil. While he thinks his father is a villain, Captain Mitchell blames himself for what happened. And Dana is in the middle of the family conflict, still trying to process that her brother is alive and that he is technically her sworn enemy. All these combined with the epic battles between the team and the Titanium Ranger, who can easily take them down even though he's outnumbered, ensures that fans are in for a treat. Ryan has such an emotional complex arc that he doesn't just sweep everything under the rug and joins the Lightspeed Rangers and his family once he abandons Diabolical. Instead, he disappears for a while as he needs to sort things out in his life before, for instance, his corporate tattoo, which takes up a whole new arc later in the season. The Titanium Ranger's backstory charmed the viewers, but he becomes a fan favorite thanks to his cool suit and his sheer power too. Both the Titanium Laser and the Max Solar Zord, are among the most powerful Ranger weapons ever, and his suit still ranks up among the coolest. Even though it's quite a sober look, it's incredible to think that the character is 100% an original Power Rangers creation. What's really interesting about the Titanium Ranger is the fact that he was created by Saban, not from Super Sentai, but it became an American exclusive Power Rangers. And I think if it was over him, we wouldn't have all of the original creations for Power Rangers like Jungle Fury as the master, well, I guess you could say in Jungle Fury, they had like their exclusive, well, the American exclusive Rangers that is not from the Sentai, but it's inspired by them. So for me, what they said about Super Mega Force was all cap. The Legendary Battle was a mega disappointment, as well as the season itself. That they didn't even represent the Power Rangers from 20 years, starting with Mighty Morphin, but instead it was something that it was never shown in America in the first place. So that's the only thing I hate about what Saban did when he brought back Power Rangers in 2010. It went downhill ever since. But at some point, going back to the Titanium Ranger arc, it definitely stepped this game up in terms of creating an emotional story arc for the Six Rangers, something that Mighty Morphin couldn't do. But I like how they took many risks they can to make something more epic and memorable for this season. But you know what? I'm just glad that we actually got an American exclusive Ranger, and I absolutely love everything about it. So, what are your thoughts on this? Link to the original article will be down below.